Hey now, can I get a one in the chat? Can I get a one in the chat, please? Mic check, let me know if you can hear me. One minute. Peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks, aka the $1 trillion goddess, baby, aka the Queen of Info. In case you didn't know, now you know, baby. Thank you for being here. I especially appreciate those of you who heeded the call and are in the chat currently. Let me say what's up to you, Wow Wayne. First and foremost, PJ Corleone, thank you so much. Ooh, I love the diamonds. Baby Yoda popped in. Yo, baby. Mitson Black. What's going on, honey? Ooh, the black letter laws waiting patiently. What's up, mama?
The Black Letter Law on YouTube, you guys, the best attorney I know. Check her out. Ju T is in the building. Yes. Trust but document. I love that name. Yeah, welcome. Welcome, everybody. I'm catching up on these updates. I have been MIA a little bit. Got, some family things going on. Good things. Some good things. And, once I get my members only channel back up and going, we'll be talking about more personal things. But for now, we're going to get into the business of Diddy, the business of Jay-Z. Okay. Wow, Wayne, are you like way back in the replay? Catch up, baby. All right. So, yeah, there's been some very strange reportings lately in the past couple days with regard to Diddy, with regard to Jay-Z, and we're going to get into all these things. Let me get my background music together, child. I need it. So happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Last day of 2024. Can you believe it? Time really flies. And I'm happy to see 2024 go. I don't know if I'm happy to see 2025 come yet, but we're going to make the best out of it that we can personally, right? We, got to take personal responsibility and make things great ourselves, because we cannot rely on all these outside people to make our lives what they are supposed to be. Okay? Just putting that out there. Yeah, the kids know what's up. The kids know. All right, so let me start with this Diddy meltdown story that came out. Let's see. Let me pull up my articles and whatnot. Yeah. All right, let me share the screen. I'm sure you guys probably heard about this. Didn't you think it was weird that this stuff is actually in the media, though? But we're gonna get into it. Let me bring this picture down. So this is coming out of the hotnewhiphop.com. Diddy allegedly suffers meltdown in jail after spending the holidays behind bars. And as we know, Diddy thought he was going to be home by now, right? And I don't think Diddy has ever had a holiday this depressing, But it says that Diddy allegedly had a breakdown behind bars after not being able to get out on bond in time to spend the holidays with his family. They say Diddy expected that his legal team would be able to find a way to get him out of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where he's currently awaiting trial. And we know authorities arrested him on charges of alleged sex trafficking and racketeering earlier this year. Well, really, he got arrested in September, a few months ago. Now, in quotes, it says, with his high-powered legal team, Diddy thought he'd be out on bail by now. Spending the holidays behind bars was a nightmare for him, a source told the Daily Mail. They added that Diddy had to use meditation techniques to calm himself. It took him a few hours of deep breathing and focusing to get out of the bad space he was in, but finally managed it. Despite the claim, another source denied the story's validity, telling the outlet that Diddy's staying strong in jail. That opposing story probably came from his team. It says Diddy has maintained his innocence for months now. Of course, we know his attorney, Erica Wolf, recently reiterated the bad boy mogul's faith in the judicial system as allegations about him have continued to pour in. In quotes, it says, Mr. Combs has full confidence that in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process in court, the truth will prevail, that Mr. Combs never assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. They're sticking by their story. Most recently, Diddy was roped into an allegation involving Jay-Z that attorney Tony Busby brought forth for an anonymous accuser. The woman claims that the two allegedly raped her at an after party in 2000 when she was just 13 years old. So we talked about how Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, got shot down in court by the judge and admonished as well for his tactics. And the judge decided, no, we're going to leave her anonymous for now. And for now, things will move forward. And we're going to talk about as well how Jay-Z has recently filed within the past day or so a new dismissal, as well as another filing trying to, moot the previous dismissal filing. There's a lot of filings happening. We'll get into that stuff. But regarding the meltdown, child, I think it's true, because there are people in the dorm, in the MDC, who are talking to people. And I'm going to get in actually to an article by a paralegal who is talking to some inmates in the MDC. He actually has some details about the jail raid that happened recently by the interagency collective, and some details about what happened within that agency's raid. But before that, let's talk about this other story that came out about how Diddy, let me find it. Diddy's claiming that the feds are pressuring, well, the news is that the feds are pressuring Diddy to plea and to give up information. Let me find that. Hold on, child. Hold on. Let me pull the article up. Here we go. This is from The Source. I must have too many tabs open. Hold on. Here we go. Let me come over to see what y'all talking about before we go on. Hey, Queen Keish, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Definitely. So, yeah, we're talking about Diddy. We just talked about how they said he had a breakdown over the holidays. It's still the holidays. Okay, we're holiday season all up and through, 10 toes deep up in this. And he's not having it. He is upset. And I think that was expected based on what we know about Diddy. I think Diddy's a bit spoiled, to tell you the truth. But The Source says that Diddy is facing pressure to cooperate with prosecutors in exchange for bond. After his latest denial for bond, embattled Bad Boy Entertainment CEO Sean Diddy Combs finds himself at the center of a legal storm that shows no sign of quieting. Facing mounting pressure from prosecutors, insiders now claim Diddy has been offered a chance at freedom, but at a cost that could send shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. According to reports from celebrity insider Janet Charlton, prosecutors are pushing Diddy to reveal the full extent of those allegedly involved in his rumored deeds. Sources suggest that authorities cast a wide net, demanding details on celebrities, athletes, studio heads, agents, and powerful business figures who may have played a role in Combs' legal troubles. Charlton's source claims that while Diddy has remained silent thus far, the temptation of bail and the possibility of a lighter sentence looms large. In quotes, it says, Sean is being tempted to start naming names, and if he cooperates, he could likely be granted bail until his trial, a source revealed. However, Diddy's refusal to cooperate may not last forever. The insider hinted that the revelations could be seismic if Combs eventually speaks out. He says the list of people involved will shock the world. The source teased, raising speculation about how deep the investigation may reach. Now, somebody said in the comment, don't worry, Diddy, be happy. Trump pardon coming soon, day one, not going to cost you much at all. I doubt that very seriously. With regard to this article, I'm leery. I'm wondering if this is more so a message to all the celebrities, athletes, studio heads, agents, and powerful business figures who may have played a role in his legal troubles. I'm wondering if this is something that will, want people to come forward to come against what may be coming their way. Um, shaking the table a bit, getting people a little scared and nervous, having people make moves. Maybe people are being watched and listened to, and the feds are seeing who's going to make a move based on what they're hearing from the media. I don't know. I don't know if this could be true. We don't know who the source is. Is the source from the Fed side, or is the source from the Diddy side, or is the source from another celebrity, Jay-Z, who might be wanting to get all this squashed and make everything go away? Because if everything goes away for Diddy, then everything may go away for him too. Or if everything goes away for Diddy, maybe things may be getting bigger for other celebrities. Time will only tell. So I don't know, how you guys feel about this media information coming from the media, but I'm skeptical and not sure how to take it. Hey, Queen Brielle. Hi, sounds like the same thing they said about R. Kelly when he was indicted. Okay, yeah, I kind of remember that as well. R. Kelly had a lot of people. He had a lot of people on the prosecutor side testifying against him, but had hardly anyone testify on his own behalf. So this is not good news for if this is reminiscent of R. Kelly's case. Okay, R. Kelly got 30 years. So yeah, with that said, I ain't sure how to take it. Now, there was another article that came out about Diddy refusing to come out of his cell, to come out of his cell to actually get there's a new filing against Diddy. Wait, let me see if I can, I might have to go to TikTok for this one. Not coming out of cell. Yeah, they say he's refusing to even talk to his attorneys, like he's very upset. Here we go. This is from AP News. So they're saying prosecutors ordered not to use papers. Oh, no, this is a different article. Hold on. Prosecutors ordered not to take papers for now. No, this is an older article. Hold on. I just saw the article. Okay. Yeah, this is, hold on. Let me get the right. Let me go to TikTok real quick.
A breakdown in jail after Christmas. It's being reported that Diddy allegedly had a meltdown at the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York during the holiday season. According to reports, the incident was triggered by the rapper's frustration over still being in jail months after his September arrest, despite having a high-powered legal team. Diddy expected that he would have been out on bail and not having to spend Christmas behind bars because of his high-powered legal team that he assembled for his defense. However, their failure to secure him bail has seemingly taken a toll on him, making spending the holidays behind bars a nightmare. During this meltdown, Diddy allegedly informed the prison guards of his situation and requested to be taken to the hospital. However, they denied Diddy's request, leaving him to cope with the situation on his own. A close source to Diddy said that he managed to calm himself down with a meditation technique that he's been using while he's been behind bars. This person said that it took him a few hours of deep breathing and focusing to get out of the bad space that he was in, but eventually he managed it. And I've always said that I believe Diddy was really sensitive just based off things that we've seen, and now we know that he's allegedly starting to break down, realizing that he's probably never getting out of jail. And we know that the feds are saying that there is a possible superseding indictment and it's going to be coming soon, which would possibly name his alleged co-conspirators because they charged Diddy with a racketeering charge, which means that there was an alleged criminal enterprise, which means it's not just Diddy. And in my opinion, I believe that if Diddy hasn't already, he's probably definitely about to open his mouth now because he realizes isn't anybody on his side? Isn't anybody now trying to say that they are his friend? And now we see him allegedly going through a massive breakdown. I think that this is just the beginning and things are about to get a lot more interesting. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
I forgot about the fact that they say he requested to go to the hospital and he got denied. But that request has been denied. And if that is true, he is really out of sorts. Hey, beautiful spirit. You said Diddy's faking? Diddy is faking. Now, I did find the article I was looking for with regard to him refusing to leave his jail cell. Let's get it. They say allegedly refusing to leave his jail cell as assault lawsuits loom. Now, he's having lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. It's like every day he wakes up, there's at least one new lawsuit. That would drive anybody insane. It says the alleged behavior is reportedly causing delays in the proceedings. Diddy is allegedly refusing to come out of his cell at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, which is causing delays in multiple alleged sexual assault lawsuits he's facing. Co-counsel for attorney Tony Busby, made the allegation and request for adjournment for a conference set for January 10th, 2025. See, that's the one thing I did complain about from the beginning about Tony Busby is that he has this whole legal RICO case, criminal case in motion or pre-trial, situation happening. But here's Tony Busby on the other side of things with all of these lawsuits, all these civil suits who, some of them or one or more of them could actually end up being a part of a superseding or a part of a new criminal case. This is how the feds work. They look at these civil suits, they see if there's anything there, see if there's anything corroborating what they possibly already have on deck for him, and they will attach the civil complaint. Now, this is, I'm going to credit Cassie's civil suit to why he's sitting behind bars right now. We had Cassie, we had Lil Rod, we had, Don Richard, we had so many. We had the anonymous lady who ended up coming out, who was married to the hockey player. We have, now we have the 13-year-old at the time. Men, we have other people who were children at the time. There are so many things against this guy. And so let me continue reading this. It says, as caught by Megan Cuniff, the letter reads. Megan Cuniff is the reporter who, she covers all the trials, and she's pretty good as far as accuracy goes with her information about the filings. Now, I don't know any other things that she may come out saying. Some people say she's a Rock Nation plant. She seems to always have inside information with regard to what's coming out of Rock Nation. But anyway, it said, this is in quotes, "We have been in negotiations with defendants' counsel regarding service of process, scheduling a case management across numerous related actions, and have faced delays caused by the defendant Combs refusing to leave his cell to accept service. We believe that we have now reached an agreement in principle with defendants' counsel, but are continuing to work out scheduling details in this and other cases." The request goes on to note that Busby was available on January 10th and instead suggests a date in February. Yeah, people have holiday things happening and travel plans, and Busby is also a very busy man, just like Alex Spiro, who is Jay-Z's attorney, which I meant to mention on the last live of how Alex Spiro, and I'm gonna get into Jay-Z in a minute, has a ton of other things he's doing. Okay, he's working on the Eric Adams case, which is the mayor of New York and his RICO. He's working with Meg Thee Stallion on her stuff. He got a lot of stuff going on, so I don't know how Alex Spiro has the time. I'm sure he has a strong team, but remember that team is under scrutiny now because Busby has alleged that this team has been, pretending to be state officials and doing all kinds of inappropriate, illegal unscrupulous things to get to his clients. So as it stands, they're saying that this January 10th, meeting, what was it supposed to be? We believe that. So I guess they were supposed to, I don't know if it was a deposition or just some type of a meeting, but they are saying January 10th is probably not going to happen. I'm sure Diddy is just being stubborn. He doesn't want to get any more paperwork. He don't want to be served anything else at this point. He's done. He's overwhelmed. He's feeling like nobody has his back. He's alone. He's in prison. I mean, in jail, not prison yet. He's in jail in a dorm cell with like 19 other guys, facing very serious charges. And it's the holidays. He just had a birthday. He just turned 55 years old. His twins just celebrated their 18th birthday. He's missing out on a lot of life right now, a lot of his children's lives. And Diddy, it seems that we're not hearing, as far as I can tell, we're not hearing as much from his children and his family and other people who may support him than we are about things that are going against him. And I'm pretty sure, that doesn't feel good at all for him. So what is this? Oh, they're showing something of Diddy's past. Diddy attending the MLS game with DJ Khaled. These are better and brighter days. Now, where is DJ Khaled? DJ Khaled has been somebody who was by Diddy's side a lot. Him and French Montana, Meek Mill, a lot of these people are very quiet, or if they're not quiet, they're not supporting Diddy. So just, doesn't look good at all. Now, they go on to say in this article, the latest drama comes after the Daily Mail reported that the bad boy mogul allegedly had a bit of a breakdown behind bars, being unable to get out on bond in time for the holidays. And it seems that he's just really pissed off at his high-powered legal team. He thought, they were going to get him out. He thought they could pull tricks out of a bag, that they could pull off a miracle on his behalf. But what he's learning is that money he has is falling short now when it comes to this legal system and this RICO case. He's used to getting out of things because of his money, his influence, his connections, resources. But these things are falling hella short for Diddy currently, right? So it says, that spending the holidays was a nightmare for him. And this is what the lady on TikTok said. And that they're further alleged Diddy had to use meditation techniques to calm himself down, which, hey, I'm, as a meditation coach, a breath meditation coach at that, it does work. It works wonders. What it won't do is unlock those jail cell doors for him. That's the one thing that breathing is not going to do. They're not going to just magically open because you taking deep breaths, child. Psyche and get you in a better space as far as your frequency and your vibe. So I'll give him that. So so there's another story now that I'm thinking about it. I want to make sure I hit the stories. So we have the feds, he claims they're saying are pressuring him. Now there was a story about Diddy accusing the feds of doing something unscrupulous. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I want to make sure I get all the things. Hold on 1 second. I think this is it. Yeah. All right. So it says, busted. Diddy claims investigator in West Virginia feeding jail communication to the Fed. So yeah, Diddy is saying that somebody is spying on him in that dorm or in the MDC. Let's see what they're talking about. I knew it was something else that I saw, and I was like, huh? Let me come over here real quick before I get into that. Hey, Ray Ray. Happy New Year's to everybody. Happy New Year's Eve. I hope everybody's being safe now. If you're going to celebrate, I'm celebrating inside the house. But if you outside, please be careful. Let's see. Beautiful Spirit said Diddy has nerves to be acting up, and he still doesn't have remorse for what he did to the victims. Exactly. He's not even acknowledging any victims. So we're a long way from him being remorseful. He needs to be accountable first and foremost. Every day for 30 years, Diddy was doing something to someone. So these lawsuits are manageable. Diddy be okay. Yeah, he's been a busy bad boy. Hope, everybody has a safe and enjoyable new year. Yep. Diddy has screwed over so many people and taking from people. I have no respect, no soft spots for Diddy. Bingo. Trust but document. Diddy's attorney's wife was assistant district attorney for New York Southern District for 30 years. Diddy's attorney's wife. Is this the wife that's now defending Luigi Mangione, who is the guy got arrested for that healthcare CEO? Because she is defending that guy right now. But you said that she was assistant district attorney for the Southern District for 30 years. And now she's in private practice, not suggesting anything appropriate. Don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah, sounds like she might have a lot of inside knowledge about the district and how it goes. But I don't know how far that's going to go for Diddy with all the things they have against him. Hey, Michelle. Hey, fam. Hug the babies. Wow, Wayne. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Chrissy Power. Hey, babes. Happy New Year. Love to you. All right. Thanks for the bells. Okay. Got it. Okay. You guys know what's going on. I love that y'all are tapped in. Okay. All right. So let's get into this article. Diddy is accusing somebody of messing. Let's see. It says Diddy is ending 2024 with explosive allegations that the feds have blatantly violated his constitutional rights in an attempt to get the upper hand as his trial for trafficking and RICO charges loom. So this is from All Hip Hop. They said that the Bureau of Prisons investigator based in West Virginia allegedly copied and shared Diddy's privileged jailhouse federal prosecutors, potentially jeopardizing his defense strategy. In quotes, it says, it is indisputable that a BOP investigator based in West Virginia has been feeding Mr. Combs jail communications to the prosecutors. And this is from his attorney, Alexandra A.E. Shapiro. She said the investigator inspected and copied Mr. Combs' privileged notes. The notes, they argue, included defense strategies and confidential trial preparation plans. Now, like the same notes that the feds are said to have had copies of from the jail raid. And it was a whole thing in court about these notes. And I don't know that the judge ever really came back with a final answer about whether or not the notes were done properly or improperly. I know that in the meantime, he said not to use the notes, but we know the feds didn't need those notes because all those notes did was really corroborate things they already had on him from the illegal jail calls and email and text communications he was making behind bars the whole time. Even after the emergency bail hearing, he went and used other people's IDs and did things he wasn't supposed to do. Now, it says the notes, they argue, included defense strategies and confidential trial preparation plans. Now, what defense strategies do Diddy have in his notes? Come on now. Diddy's legal team has decried the allegations as a flagrant Fourth Amendment violation, pointing out that the government has failed to explain why the notes were targeted during a Bureau of Prison sweep at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. The sweep, allegedly part of a broader effort to uncover corruption and contraband, resulted in the investigator photographing slow down, girl, photographing Diddy's notes. Actions the defense asserts were clearly intended to aid the prosecution. They say the government refuses to tell the court what the investigator has to say about his motivations or thinking. Now, I'm wondering if the West Virginia person they're talking about is that one investigator. I think it was investigator one. They wanted to put him on trial. Now, the judge shot down those requests for them to basically have a trial around the raid. They wanted to question everybody involved. They wanted to see camera footage, and I think that footage was provided. But it says Shapiro further accused the prosecution of taking advantage of the situation, alleging the improperly obtained materials had already influenced their case. So they're blaming this on why he couldn't get bail. And how about the fact that y'all lied to the judge about it? And the judge came back and let y'all know that you did not give him the proper information. And what's your problem? Who you think I am? Now it says in quotes, the notes on their face reference how to discredit particular allegations and witness testimony, obtaining specific types of experts for trial, and collecting cross-examination material on particular witnesses. So this is what his attorney is saying that they got out of these notes. Now, I don't know. How many of y'all believe that Diddy had extensive strategy details in his notes? And I think it said on the notepad something like things to do. I think that's what they said. It said on the notes, things to do. Come on now. It says, according to the defense, such access could give the government an insurmountable edge in the courtroom. Adding to the controversy, Shapiro highlighted inconsistencies in the government's explanations. At one point, prosecutors claimed the search was for institutional safety, but they also admitted the notes were shared as a part of a covert investigation into alleged obstruction and witness tampering. So they're saying that the government had a whole interagency search on the jail, which actually I'm going to have details on right now. There's a paralegal on TikTok who has an article out about what actually happened. And this is per the detainees giving him inside information during that raid. And we're going to get into that as well. But they're saying that that raid was specifically a covert investigation into Diddy and trying to uncover the alleged obstruction and witness tampering. Now, they already, like I said, have proof of that based on the jail calls, the emails, and the texts. Diddy was literally telling people, or probably his sons or son, one of them or more than one of them, what to do on his behalf. Now, I don't know if you guys remember that jail call. I think most of us really didn't know if it was real or not. I don't know if it was, but it basically said to get rid of the pizza boxes. Now, if you guys, either you know or you don't know, that pizza in the celebrity world is a covert word for children and child trafficking. They use the word pizza parties and things of that nature. Now, pizza boxes meant like the cages that the kids were kept in. Now, I don't know, if that's true, but child linking up. Now, they say the government's bald assertion that there was a legitimate penological purpose contradicts its own admissions about the investigators' role in assisting the prosecutors to develop evidence against Mr. Combs for this case, and notably is unsupported by any affirmation or declaration by the prosecutors. So they're continuing to say the prosecutors really didn't have nothing to say about the accusations, but the judge decided, based on the information that he obtained from the prosecutors, that a trial or any sort of further investigation is not necessary. He actually took what the government said. He said he'll look into further as far as the notes go, but that as far as the investigator went, that everything was on the up and up based on what he had. Now, this article ends by saying, as the May 2025 trial date inches closer, Diddy's attorneys demand a special master to oversee the handling of privileged materials, arguing that government attorneys cannot be trusted to protect Diddy's privileges. The memorandum calls for a Castigar hearing to determine whether evidence derived from the notes was improperly used. If the judge sides with Diddy, all of the information could be suppressed, dealing a heavy blow to prosecutors. Now, the information, again, if they're speaking of just the notes, government don't need those notes that bad. It's not going to make or break their case, in my opinion. Of course, I'm going to always tell y'all and remind you, I'm not a lawyer. You probably could tell. Probably can tell. But, I'm going to have Black Letter Law back up here to give us the legal insight that she might have. So Juti said, let me come back up here now. Beautiful Spirit said the last time they accused the government, he got busted. Girl, you make me laugh. Juti said, I think they're full of ish. I agree. Hey, Felon Tavius, Happy New Year. Diddy's going to be Father Time when he comes out. You guys are jokesters. Beautiful Spirit said the raid was pre-scheduled, and I believe the jail call was real. Yeah, I do too, honestly. Juti said he's cooked. He can be a crybaby. It won't change the fact that he's powerless now. He's crying wolf. Won't change that. Very true. Very true. The judge asked, when did Puff write legal on the notes? Puff attorney said they didn't know. Right. And they wrote it after the fact, the judge found out, because the pictures didn't have it on there. So they definitely got busted. Thanks for that reminder. So now I want to get into what happened during that raid at the MDC. There's an article from the Gothamist. This guy on TikTok goes by Mike Law. I'm actually going to show you real quick. Let me go back to TikTok. So this guy, he posted this article that I don't know if he wrote the article or if he was interviewed for this article, but I went to the actual article. But this is from Mike's Law. One, if you are on TikTok and, he goes live and he goes very in depth about this legal issue and a couple other things that are going on. I don't know if you guys remember, I talked about the Alexander brothers, those twins and that other brother who are now up on RICO charges and S trafficking and raping charges themselves. And they are said to have been doing this since high school. And they are, said to have a lot of evidence and witnesses against these guys. And he's covering that, I think, too. And the Luigi thing maybe as well. But nevertheless, let's get to this article. What's life like in the Brooklyn jail where Mangione waits trial? Really bad, experts say. It says the man who gained notoriety for allegedly unaliving healthcare CEO Brian Thompson now finds himself waiting trial in one of New York's most notorious jails. Luigi Mangione, 26, arrived at the Metropolitan Detention Center on December 19th after being charged with federal murder, weapons, and stalking charges. He was previously indicted on a host of state charges, to which he pleaded not guilty. If convicted, the most serious federal murder charge, Mangione could face the death penalty. They're going to get into the raid. Hold on. He joins a long list of notorious people held at one attorney has called a nightmare facility. They include Sean Diddy Combs, former cryptocurrency executive Sam Bankman-Fried, R. Kelly, former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, Reverend Al Sharpton. Did you guys know Reverend Al Sharpton was in there? There was a whole thing about him that was uncovered as well. Let me write Al Sharpton, child, because they're saying he might be one of Diddy's biggest snitchers right now. President-elect Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, and Ghislaine Maxwell. These are all the notorious people that have been held in this facility. It says there was this idea that federal prisons and jails were in better shape than places like Rikers and the state prison system because they're run by the federal government. This is from a law professor named Betsy Ginsburg. And she said for a long time, this hasn't been true. I don't know if this was ever true. So what makes the Metropolitan Detention Center so awesome? What you need to know. And they said contraband. Um, It says the Metropolitan Detention Center, also known as MDC, is a federally run facility in Brooklyn Sunset Park that currently holds 1,100 detainees. Despite an intensive search for illicit items by federal law enforcement that lasted 5 days in October, now this is the jail raid that Diddy had complained about. Those familiar with the jail said weapons, drugs, and other contraband still make their way inside. Mike Antone, a paralegal, this is the guy on TikTok I was telling you about, a paralegal in regular contact with several detainees inside MDC, said October's search consisted of strip searches and shutting off water to parts of the facility so contraband couldn't be flushed down toilets. He said dozens of officers stormed detention units, targeting known smugglers first. In quote, they came in from all the emergency exits of the unit and not just the main doors. This is what Anton said. The Federal Bureau of Prisons and representatives with the Correction Officers Union, the American Federation of Government Employees, Council of Prison Locals, did not immediately respond to questions about contraband inside the facility. In November, the Bureau issued a statement saying investigators had seized a number of electronic devices, rugs, and homemade weapons. They say, the paralegal, Mike Antone, said all his contacts inside the jail stopped communicating with him during the lockdown. 2 days after it finished, he said he received a call from a detainee. That was a brand new phone that was just smuggled into the facility, he said. It just started coming in right away. Ginsburg and Antone say jail staff are most likely the smugglers of the contraband into the facility. They could do more significant screenings as staff is entering the facilities, Ginsburg said. Extreme violence. Contraband weapons inside the jail were allegedly used in numerous incidents of what prosecutors have called extreme violence and an unacceptable risk of danger. Antone said he recently received a photo from someone inside the jail depicting a 2-foot sword made of metal slats pulled from the jail's beds. Earlier this year, 9 people detained at MDC were charged with a string of violence, including 5 unalivings or attempted unalivings. In one incident, 2 men allegedly beat a rival and then went to a weapon stash inside the jail, returning to stab the man repeatedly, according to the indictment against them. The entire fight lasted over 15 minutes and was uninterrupted by staff. This is from the prosecutor. In quotes, awaiting potential criminal charges is not a warranted justification to subject a detained individual to unnecessary attacks. This is from FBI Assistant Director in Charge James Dennehy, who is now the Director in Charge until Trump's guy comes in. And they said when the indictments were unsealed, inhumane conditions, the Bureau of Prisons settled a $10 million class action lawsuit over inhumane freezing conditions during a 2019 blackout. In January, New York Southern District Judge Jesse Furman issued a scathing 19-page ruling that cited the jail's dreadful conditions, including delayed medical care, multiple self-unalivings, a 3-week, 22-hour-a-day lockdown, and poor medical treatment. They say MDC really can't handle even basic medical needs of individuals. According to Furman's ruling, MDC repeatedly defied court orders to transfer a defendant with a staph infection to a medical facility. In another recent incident, the MDC ignored an order to get a defendant to a scheduled surgery for his jaw, which had been broken by another inmate at a previous facility. The man must now have his jaw rebroken before the surgery. And this is from the judge, Furman. In September, the Bureau of Prisons said it established an urgent action team to address concerns. In quotes, it has already increased permanent staffing at the institution, including COs and medical staff, addressed over 800 backlogged maintenance requests, and applied a continued focus on the issues raised in 2 recent judicial decisions. This is from spokesperson Donald Murphy, who wrote an email statement on Thursday. Now, Judge Furman's ruling came after 70-year-old Gustavo Chavez contested his detention at MDC on the grounds of poor medical care. Furman wrote that New York federal court judges now routinely give defendants reduced sentences based on the conditions the defendants have had to endure at the jail. Prosecutors no longer even put up a fight, let alone dispute that the state of affairs is unacceptable. Oh, Lord, don't let Diddy hear this. We about to hear that he all kinds of sick. I remember R. Kelly even had some problems with his legs, or something was going on with him as well, where he complained about these conditions. But they say, yet MDC continues to house celebrities and very wealthy detainees. According to Mike Antone, people who attract a lot of media attention, like Mangione, are never placed in general population and are instead kept in a 21-person unit called 4N. The potential is there that if somebody would want to make a name for themselves and could do something to him. Ginsburg said that fundamental changes are needed, that Mangione's presence could help draw attention to the conditions inside the jail. The most impactful thing the federal government can do here is place fewer people in those kinds of correctional settings. So, you know, these are horrific conditions. We can't argue that. It's all, and not that, you know, because you're being detained, because mind you, the jail that this is describing is a pre-detention, pre-trial. People are detained there pre-trial, and people are also housed there prior to being transferred to prison. So, you know, this is a place where possibly a lot of innocent people can be sitting. Now, I believe Diddy is one of those people, but the fact that he cried to go to the hospital, it says a lot. It says to me he might have gotten wind of the fact that, you know, they are concerned about the medical, you know, the people in here for medical conditions and things like that. Now, I don't know that he actually had any physical complaints, more so psychological is what it sounds like. But yeah, it's a bad place. I mean, now, I don't know. You know, this article is highlighting the conditions, and, you know, I don't see what the problem is for them to just tighten things up. What it sounds like to me is they really need to tighten up on these COs. Somebody mentioned in the article about, you know, they could really do better with the incoming COs and making sure they're not bringing in the contraband and the weapons and things, the cell phones, things like that, because I think there's a big side hustle for them, especially with the rich inmates such as Diddy, who want to get a cell phone, who want, you know, to have special perks and privileges that they wouldn't otherwise get unless they were padding someone's pockets, like a CO or a medical staff person. Now, if Diddy were to be able to get to a medical staff person, who knows what he could get away with in there? You know, he might want drugs, is what could be also the problem. If they did a raid on the jail and they confiscated all this contraband and things, it could have put a stop on some of the drug use and the drug handlings in there, because we know Diddy was on that pink powder and who knows what else. Very surely alcohol use too before going in. Now he's been there since September, October, November, December. He's been there about 4 months now, and going through it, I'm pretty sure withdrawals and just all kinds of psychological issues, because he has to face the music. The fact that he can't get out is, you know, definitely a loud sound off for him. Here, let me let's see what y'all talk about. Diddy got no more power. He's irrelevant. He's irrelevant. This channel is for mature audiences. Thank you, Wow Wang. Prison and jail is not paradise. Exactly. That's the same jail where Robert Crooks was killed. Oh, that's what I was going to mention. Robert Crooks, was that his name? So there was a gentleman who was detained. He looked like, to me, he was handcuffed, and he took a bad beating that ended up unaliving him at the end of the day by these COs. It looked like they also had something stuffed in his mouth. I think they said he bit one of them. But things like that, like that's very criminal and definitely should never happen. Um, Now that guy Mike's Law on TikTok, I was listening to his live and he had talked about this. Someone actually went on his panel and questioned, oh, I thought that prisoners, because he actually said they could have a civil rights lawsuit on their hands on top of everything else. And this person says, well, I thought that prisoners didn't have rights. First of all, he wasn't. I think he just got detained. I don't know if he was even a prisoner yet. And on top of that, if he was, it doesn't matter. But I guess the point is that prisoners may not have the rights that we free people have, but they have some rights. You can't unalive a prisoner, and you can't treat them away because of civil rights, civil rights violations on the CO's part because of race or whatever the case, because they're detained. So you can't just say, oh, well, I thought they didn't have rights. They have some rights. You just can't get unalived and beat and put in positions, because sometimes they'll let the prisoners do the work for them. They'll set you up, put you in an opposing gang dorm, or set you up to get hurt where they don't have to get their hands dirty. But at the end of the day, it's all bad. I mean, I hope that they do get justice for Robert and anybody else who's being treated and mishandled in this way. It just shouldn't be. Trust says, is Reverend Sharpton still there? I don't think he's still there. So, okay, let me get into Reverend Sharpton. And this is just me by memory. I'm going to send you guys to a YouTuber, Queen Ahmadiyya on YouTube. She did a live about this. She said she thinks Al Sharpton is one of Diddy's biggest snitches. Actually, let me see if I can find her channel real quick, and that way give her the proper credit. Okay, let me see. Queen, let me look for her real quick. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I think I'm in YouTube. Queen Ahmadiyya. I don't know how to spell her name. That's the problem. Ahmadiyya. Oh, I think this is it. Oh, maybe it's Amaya Shakur. Is this her? Yeah, this is her. Okay, so this is the Queen's channel. I can put a link to it after the live if you want to, if you can't find her, but she has a live. Let me go. She's been doing a lot of lives. Okay, so just yesterday, Al Sharpton turned his back on Diddy and Jay-Z, was at the Freak Offs, and let me just click on it. A whole snitch. And then she questions the fact that whether or not he's pro-black. Okay, now in this live, she talked about Al Sharpton, the fact that she, first talked about how, Al Sharpton is supposed to be pro-black, a whole activist, somebody who stomped and marched with Dr. King. And now is being questioned, was he a part of the takedown of Dr. King? So apparently he got caught in a drug deal or a rug deal with the feds. So he, how feds go undercover. Well, apparently he got caught in a rug deal. And so he was compromised at this point because, once they catch you doing something, they got you. So either you're going to cooperate with us or you're going to go to prison. So he chose to cooperate. And apparently he was wired and sent to some mafia family to get information on them and bring it back to the feds, which he did. And I think he helped take down this mafia family. And he even came out himself to say, I'm not a snitch. I'm a cat who brings out the rats, is what he said. Now, apparently he spent time in there because of this when he was caught, or I don't know if that was the case or why he was in MDC. Let me just not say that. But she went on into a lot of detail about how Al Sharpton is not who we think he is, and how Al Sharpton was at those Diddy parties, and he might have been there to collect intel on Diddy. He might have been there initially just to be there and get his freak on, but then once he got compromised, may have been sent in by the feds to get the information they need. Now, it seems to me they still need information on Diddy if that pressure article about him is true, about the fact that he's being pressured to tell and to give names and this and that. Now, according to the Queen here, she said that it is her belief that the feds aren't looking for names, they're looking for actual tapes, that there's things that they still don't have in hand that they are looking for, and that Diddy's the only one who could give them the information. So, I do suggest going to her. Don't go now. Wait till I get off. But yeah, I suggest visiting her channel if you are not familiar. She has a lot of good information. Now, I don't know. Some stuff is alleged, of course, and take things with a grain of salt. I'm not saying she's 100% accurate and true, but it is insightful stuff and things. She does bring receipts. I'll have to give her that. So let me see. What are y'all saying here? Juti said R. Kelly complained about a toe infection. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He also had a hernia, I think, as well. And I think blood clots too. What's going on with him? His health is horrible. Beautiful Spirit. I think Kelly was missing a toe in one unit and looking for it in another unit. Not looking for it in another unit. And you said he was faking it too. You said the CEO be sleeping with the inmates. What? You mean the jail, what is the jail head of the jail called? I can't think of that's what you're talking about? Shout. Juti said he was transferred from another jail, I believe. Okay. While Wayne said, Diddy, he's not a prisoner, he's a convict. Chrissy said, order in the court, Judge. Wow, Wayne. Guilty. Trust but document. Lord help us. Thank you for the information. Of course. Yeah. So, yeah, Al Sharpton, his hands are not clean. We haven't heard from him. And that was the other point she was making. Where is Al Sharpton? He stood up for a lot of people in the past, right? He even was side by side with Diddy during a lot of campaigns and, things that, we thought at the time were positive things for the community. But he's nowhere to be found or seen or heard from with regard to Diddy, as are many or most or maybe all of these other celebrities. Where is everybody? So yeah. Now I want to move on to Jay-Z, child. We got more stuff to discuss. We're not done. Okay, let me just get rid of some of this articles that get me confused. Let's see. Now, first, I'm going to start with this because this is something I meant to bring up a couple lives back. Was Jay-Z MTV Awards after party claim an open secret? New claims surfaced as Nas exposed rapper's activities in 2002 diss track. Now, mind you, that 13-year-old person who's now a grown woman, but at the time was that charge, I believe, was in 2000 that alleged incident happened. So they go on to, there's been a few people they brought out to the forefront as far as past lyrics or people who have dealt with Jay-Z in the past, such as Nas's baby's mom, Carmen, who she's come out, as did Superhead or Corinne Steffen, who wrote the book Confessions of a Video Vixen. She has since come out, since these charges have come out as well, to say things against Jay-Z. A lot of people have said things about his character, about past dealings, about even things they've heard that they believe strongly to be true. Now, this article says clues to Jay-Z's alleged sordid past could have been hiding in plain sight. The star rapper named Sean Corey Carter is assaulting a teen girl at an MTV Video Music Awards after party in 2000. Fans were shocked when Jay-Z was revealed as the unidentified male celebrity, initially accused of raping a then 13-year-old girl more than 24 years ago. The 99 Problems hitmaker 55, they now say he has 100 problems, okay? The 100 Problems was named in an anonymous lawsuit, we know, according alleging he took turns in the attack with Sean Diddy Combs. But some of the musician's colleagues may have previously hinted they long knew the truth. Internet sleuths have been poring over old rap songs and music and have stumbled across some interesting lyrics in an old Nas track. Shout out. The 2014 song "You Gotta Love It" features diss lyrics about an unnamed person pursuing some possibly coded poetry. Here's the lyric and quote: "See N-words and blast. There goes a loud difference. Coke sniffing, tapping 13-year-old chickens. You can't be a kingpin when you snitching. Regardless, we still make you a target." Did you catch that? Coke sniffing, tapping 13-year-old chickens. They say many online now equate the 13-year-old chickens line as an indirect reference to Jay-Z, with whom Nas had a long-standing feud. Now, given the fact that he didn't name Jay-Z, but we know they had this whole feud. I know y'all remember Ether, that really burned Jay-Z down to the ground. Nas is one of my faves, child. He got it all right. Now, this is a pretty blatant accusation. Tapping 13-year-old chickens. I mean, come on now. Can't be a kingpin when you snitching. It is also alleged that Jay-Z, like Diddy, has also been accused of working with the feds all these years. You know, like I said about Al Sharpton, they watch, they listen. So they watch you for years before they come knocking on your door to say, look what we got on you. And this video is it's audio. It's, you know, real tangible proof that you've been doing things that you weren't supposed to be doing. I'm trying to think of the rapper that just got indicted for plotting on or unaliving. I'm trying to think, what's his name? It's not Gunna. It's with a G though. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He was King Von's affiliate, and he was trying to get back for King Von, and now he's in prison. And one of the people in his circle was said to have been wearing a wire. So that's what they do. They catch somebody in your group first, in your circle, and say, listen, if you don't want us to hem you up, we need you to go in, because we're not really interested in you. We're more interested in him. And we want you to give us the evidence we need. So they will wire a person up. I think that person always had a particular hat on, and they might have wired that guy's hat, because it's easy to check somebody up shirt and maybe even take off the hat. But you're not thinking about the lining inside that hat. And that hat is said to have had a wire. So all I'm saying is, sounds like Nas was accusing Jay-Z or somebody of snitching on folks. And, you know, child, just stay tuned, because there's much more to come in this stuff. They say Snoop is next. Now, I know people are going to lose their minds when Snoop gets named. Sloan Bella, she has said it several times that Snoop is coming up. And I had just heard something about Snoop. I'm not sure if it was Jaguar who said it, but Snoop's got some things going on as well. And he might even know that things are coming. I don't know if you guys know, he has a reality show it's really around his daughter, Corey, on Netflix, I believe. You know, he hosted Olympics. He got that Martha Stewart bond and situation going on with her. He's been really put on a high pedestal. And that's when you really got a side eye when they on these high pedestals. And I'm going to give you an example of why. Let me make a note, because there's something else I want to show y'all that's going to give you a very clear idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, but before we do that, let me get into what's going on with Jay-Z and his case with this 13-year-old accuser. He's trying to make some moves, okay? So the Daily Mail has reported that Jay-Z's attorney claims expired deadline should sink child rape lawsuit against the rapper in a new filing. Okay, so they're saying that Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, said the SSO case filed against the rapper earlier this month should be dismissed due to a number of issues linked to a combo of technicalities, expired deadlines, and the locations involved. Spiro said that Tony Busby, who is representing the Alabama woman, who says she was raped by Jay-Z, 55, and Sean Diddy Combs, 55. And as well as there's a celebrity B who is said to be a woman who people are saying it could be J-Lo. Some people say Mary J. Blige. I mean, I hate to put these people's name out there if they aren't out there, but J-Lo's name has definitely been out there. Now, she was just 13 years old. It says glossed over critical details that nullify the case. Now, Jay-Z's accuser, who identifies herself as Jane Doe in court documents, says she was assaulted by the rapper and Combs at an MTV Music Awards after party in 2000. Spiro told the court he intends to file a motion to dismiss. Now, he had filed one previously, but apparently he dropped that one. I don't know what the legal term is for that, but he said it was moot because I guess he's going to refile. So it says that citing the timing of the events in question as the legal statute the woman is suing under had not been implemented until 3 months later in December of 2000. Spiro said in legal documents that the statute can't be applied against the rapper retroactively. And the woman said in her legal filing she was living in Rochester in 2000 when she made her way to New York City and befriended a limousine driver who drove her to the party in a trek that took about 20 minutes. A lot of pictures. Busby told TMZ in a statement Monday, these are technical arguments being made, and the law is clearly on our side and the side of alleged victims. The law is well settled that we are correct. He subsequently told Daily Mail, Mr. Spiro likes to send a lot of letters. I don't think any of them merit comment. Daily Mail has also reached out to Spiro and reps for Jay-Z, and I guess they have yet to comment. But it says the latest attempt to have the case drop comes less than a week after the judge ruled Thursday that Jay-Z's accuser can proceed anonymously for now in her lawsuit against the rap moguls. In her written order, Judge Annalisa Torres also chastised the lawyer representing Jay-Z for what she described as his combative motions and inflammatory language against the plaintiff's lawyer, calling them inappropriate. The Manhattan jurist said the woman can proceed anonymously at the early stage of the litigation, but she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date if the case proceeds. That would allow defense lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare for trial. Torres also cited substantial interest from the public. So Busby Spiro, Jay-Z's lawyer, has his sleeves rolled up when it comes to this, even though he has so many other cases that he's working on, like I mentioned. I think that this is the same information, but I'm not sure. It says Jay-Z's lawyer argues for dismissal of rape accusers' lawsuit, citing a legal loophole. And he claims that, like I said, several details about the case were glossed over and pointed to issues with the timing of the events and all these things. So we're really just waiting on to see what the judge has to say. But I'm also going to share from Twitter, Megan Cuniff, who I told you is a court reporter. Let's see. She says, Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, is withdrawing his motion about attorney Busby preserving evidence in the Grape lawsuit after he served Busby with a notice to do just that. Accordingly, Mr. Carter respectfully requests to withdraw the motion as moot. So this is him withdrawing his previous motion because he plans to refile and include other information, I suppose. And let's see, he also filed a letter previewing an upcoming dismissal motion. Okay, so this is just reiterating. This is the actual motion. I don't think we need to read that. Now, this might go back to Diddy. In two other assault lawsuits against Diddy, Tony Busby's co-counsel asked to adjourn the January 10th conferences. Okay, we talked about that. So this is all, but this is addressing two other assault lawsuits. Okay, so I'm going to move over to, let me turn that down. I want to move back over to TikTok because, let's see, I want to talk about the harassment stuff that's been going on. Now, this is serious we've heard some investigators going to content creators' homes, and we've heard from content creators saying that, you know, they've been approached, things like that. But this one is something that I hadn't heard previously. So let's listen to this same girl. Who is this anyway? Let me see. Let me pause this real quick. This is Kadisha Lynn on TikTok. Okay, so let's listen to her, and she's going to talk about actually a YouTuber, and she has all the details here. That's why I rather by her reporting than rather go to the actual YouTuber, which I did do on my own. She's going to talk about this guy, Ratchet TV, who some weird things happened to, and he actually got in touch with Busby, and it's all recorded here. So let's check that out. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me switch the tab over.
Content creators who speak. Jay-Z is being accused of harassing content creators who speak about him and Diddy. After my weird audio mishap last night on my video about Jay-Z that a lot of people could hear, but a lot of people also were saying they couldn't hear, just like myself, until I watched a screen recording, I thought that it was only fair that we talk about some of the crazy allegations that are coming from content creators about allegedly being harassed after making content about Jay-Z and Diddy. A content creator that goes by the name of Ratchet TV on YouTube was doing a live stream about the Jay-Z and Diddy case. And during this live stream, he said all of a sudden his live stream started messing up, and then he got a phone random New York number. And he said this made him feel really sketchy, so he Googled the number, and it allegedly came back to Alex Spiro. Then after he got this live fixed and he kept live streaming, he would allege that he got a harassing text message that told him to quit speaking on somebody's name and to speak it all about Diddy. And this was only a taste of their power. This content creator then alleged that that night his phone kept repeatedly being blown up by a phone number with a non-caller ID. He was so sketched out about this that the next day he actually called and reported this to the Tony Busby law firm. And this content creator, Ratchet TV, recorded his phone calls with the Tony Busby law firm on how he was allegedly being harassed for speaking about Jay-Z in connection with Diddy.
Hey, Brad, it's Ashley with the Busby law firm. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Well, thank you. So they've got private investigators following you. Is that what your voicemail said, or calling you?
I don't know who it is. Like last night, see, I'm a content creator. I do YouTube videos, and I was on live last night. So while I'm on live, my live just starts messing up, and it just kept going out. And my whole stream was like, "Hey, your live froze. Your live froze." So then I get a phone call while my stuff is messing up. I get a phone call, and it's from a number. I don't know whose number it is at first. It's a New York number. And after I did a Google search on the New York number, it came back to Alex Spiro and his law firm. And so I had 2 missed calls from them, and then my live just kept messing up. And I got a text message from a New York number, a Manhattan number, and it said, "Shift the focus back to Diddy." Hold on, matter of fact, let me read the message for you. This is exactly what the message says in my phone. It says...
And the message in your phone, was that text to you?
Yes, it was text. It says, "Stop speaking on my name and keep the attention on Diddy. I can do more than stop your live. That's just a taste of my power." I proceed to get like 100 blocks back to back. This would not calling me blocked until 5:30 this morning.
I'm gonna pause it. Y'all hearing this? So this guy, Ratchet TV, he is on YouTube. He's saying that this information he's giving is, you know, quite, it's tangible information. It came straight to him. He's relaying this. Who he's talking to is someone who works for Busby, and he knew who to contact, right? He knew who to get in touch with to report this information. So I see Sharita, welcome back, girl. You saying Ratchet TV is a liar? You think he would make this up and call the attorney, girl? Okay, Juti said you don't do that if you're innocent. Intimidating TikTokers, or I would say just content creators in general, yeah, it makes you look very innocent. Juti says she believes it. Sean Cummings, welcome. Welcome. Yeah, referring to Jay-Z being a liar and saying he's a young man at 55 years old. Lasting impressions by Kim. Hey, Happy New Year. It's been a while. I was watching his live when this happened, she said. See, Sharita, people are saying this was happening in real time. Sharita said could be, but Ratchet definitely is. He did the same thing with the Fulio case. Lasting Impression says this was true. Okay, well, let's keep listening to what happened here. This is interesting.
How many followers do you have?
164,000.
Okay, and so the number that said that to you, stop speaking on my name, that number came back to Alex Spiro?
No. That wasn't Alex Spiro. That number came back to, I would have to go back and I can't remember what name that name came back to.
And have you been reporting on the P. Diddy and Jay-Z cases?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been following them all?
Yeah, I've been covering this the whole way.
And so you've only started to encounter issues when you were speaking about Jay-Z?
Correct.
Okay, so you weren't getting these types of messages related to Combs as much?
And I've never gotten contacted about P. Diddy or Sean Combs. Never. It was just this situation. No.
Okay, I'm going to send all this to the attorney to take a look at, and they can take that phone number from you at that time. Have they sent you any emails or anything like that?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay, let me...
Jay-Z, your ass is in trouble. I'm gonna be real with you, Jay-Z. Your ass is in trouble. Y'all made a big mistake contacting me. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna protect myself at all costs. You tried to do what you did and silence me. Big no-no. And then you did witness intimidation. Now you just made me a witness in this case. You've just made Ratchet TV a witness in your own case. That's what you did. That's how fucked up. That's what you did. So no matter what you do now, I'm gonna forever do this. I'm not Jaguar Wright. I'm not her. That ain't me. I ain't finna just get up here and play with you. We're not finna go do no tit for tat and I want your attention. No. I got your attention and you got mine. Let's play. Let's get to this one. This is the one right here.
Is it Greg or Gregory?
Greg. It's Greg. You can call me Greg.
Okay. So I got a little bit of information about what's going on. I don't have a whole lot of time right now.
So this is Tony Busby that he's actually speaking with currently on this recording.
Because I'm about to have to run out to catch a plane, but I wanted to touch base, get an overview from you, and then I'll have more time tomorrow to discuss in greater detail. But why don't you tell me what's going on?
Well, last night I have been covering the whole Diddy case. I've been talking about Diddy for about a year or so, and just here picked up on the Jay YouTuber, and as I was on live last night, I get my stream starts getting interrupted, and it happened like a few times, and then as it was getting interrupted, I was getting phone calls from a 212 area code. So I was on live and I was asking everybody like, "Where's 212?" And we all came up with the conclusion it was Manhattan, that area. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me look up where Rock Nation is. Something just told me like, let's look up Rock Nation, and I looked it up, and it was right there in the vicinity of where the phone call was. So then I go, okay, let me just Google the number they called me. So I Googled the number, and then it comes up as Quinn. I can't remember the last name, but it was Quinn. Yes. It was Quinn Emanuel. He already knew who I was talking about, so let's stop it right there. I couldn't remember the name off the top of my head, so he's like, "Oh, Quinn Emanuel, yeah."
And let me interrupt too about Quinn Emanuel. Tony Busby has already filed against Quinn Emanuel, who works with Spiro at Rock Nation, for trying to impersonate a state employee, I believe, for contacting clients and intimidation and all of that stuff. So he's familiar.
I already knew who I was talking about. Y'all have made some mental errors. This law firm is on y'all ass. So I'm like, wait, that's Jay-Z's lawyer. Why would they be calling my phone? And then I get a text message in my phone from a 929 area code, and it's saying, oh, well, let me read the message for you. So I'll give it to you verbatim. The message says, it says, stop speaking on my name and keep the attention on Diddy. I can do more than stop your live. That was just a taste of my power. And then they
Nice.
yeah, so then they proceed to, my internet went out. My Wi-Fi box it says it's on, but my Wi-Fi is not working on anything. My stream just keeps going out, and they're telling me like, stop talking about him, or we're gonna do more next time. So then
Oh my God.
I get like 100 missed calls from blocked numbers, like over and over. It didn't stop till 5:30 this morning. Like I've been getting phone calls all day and all night from my stream last night, and they basically were just telling me like not to talk about this no more.
Oh my God. Hold on just a second. All right. Can you give me a couple things? So I'm gonna give you a list of things that I would like you to send me. Okay. I would like you to text me to this number. I want the 212 area code number. That's Quinn Emanuel.
Mm-hmm.
I want the full 929 number. That is whoever's, potentially Jay-Z or somebody else, like, on his behalf, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you could take some screenshots of the texts that you got, right?
Mm-hmm.
And send those to me. And then if you could take some screenshots of your like recent calls showing like when the Quinn Emanuel and 929 and wherever calls came in. And if you could text all of those to me at this number, fantastic. We're actively looking into numerous instances of things like this, witness intimidation, commentary intimidation, that kind of thing. So yeah, if you could give me that would be amazing. Be back in touch tomorrow. Probably early afternoon is when I'll free up.
Okay, no problem.
Now, that lawyer said that they are investigating multiple different instances of this, and I don't think it's a coincidence that I had that really weird audio thing that's never happened before happen to me last night. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what you guys think about us.
Now, I'm going to say myself personally, obviously, this hasn't happened to me regarding this case, but I will say that there are means to screw up a person's live stream. Back when I was first doing this YouTube stuff surrounding R. Kelly, I had a arch rival. I didn't even know they were a rival at the time. They were actually, what do they call it? A hen in the, anyway, somebody who was acting like they were for me. They were actually going against me at the same time. And all of a sudden I started experiencing my live scrambling. The audio was crazy. I would have to end the lives. And I had no idea. And then I recently caught this person on somebody's panel saying how, because the person's panel who they were on said somebody was messing with their numbers. And this person admitted, oh yeah, there's an app for that. There's an app, and he wanted to go into detail. I was hoping they would go into detail, but the person cut them off and said, let's talk about it offline. So I'm just saying it is possible to do these things from outside of a person's live stream. And so, somebody with money and power and resources and connections can definitely probably figure out how to intimidate a person by doing these things. Some of these comments, let me read. Jay-Z is literally crashing out. Now, mind you, this live that she did is just from 3 days ago. Somebody said, at this point, Jay-Z's guilty about something. And I think that goes along with Miss Sharita here in the chat has said that she doesn't believe Jay-Z did this thing with the 13-year-old at the time, but she maybe believes that he could have done something. Now, I want to mention about this 13-year-old situation as well. Let me, I'm going to switch over because I want to also talk about something on Instagram. 1 second. So I think it was that Queen, the person that I showed y'all a few minutes ago, her channel, that was saying in these situations with regard to some of these allegations with these celebrities, that sometimes people like a Diddy, I'll just use him as an example, will um, proceed to do some nefarious act, such as that thing with the 13-year-old, and maybe bring a Jay-Z in or celebrity B in to the situation, and this, they don't know it's a 13-year-old. Like Diddy might know this person is underage because his bodyguard or his driver or whoever said, this is what you like, got you one. But because he has to get these people, Diddy, on film, on tape, and get them in a position, because mind you, Diddy is also very competitive. He doesn't want anybody topping him. He doesn't want anybody. And now Jay-Z is somebody who could rival Diddy's success, right? He doesn't want that. He wants to be able to have you right where he wants you, and that is on film, on tape, doing something that is illegal. Now, how is it that this particular case is now all of a sudden all over the media? Does Diddy have anything to do with some of these things we're hearing about, needing information maybe through other people to make headlines and things like that? I'm just putting, maybe some of the celebrities that these were minors, or that this stuff was not consensual. Maybe they came into the situation themselves, not really knowing that the extreme gravity of the illegalness of the situation. They might have just been high themselves, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying it could possibly be the case. Now, Diddy, in my opinion, he's the main guy here, because when Jay-Z was coming up in the ranks, Diddy was already a made man at this point. Diddy popping. Diddy, he already had, he was already the king on the chessboard. Now Jay-Z coming up, he wanted that. I'm pretty sure he wanted to be that guy. So he aligned himself with Diddy. Business partners, not friends, right? According to his lawyer. But he definitely was there throughout the years. We saw them together. We saw them celebrating things. We saw them all kinds of things. So if this world that we're looking at, the celebrity world, is something that is like, I guess, a Sodom and Gomorrah, it's just a hell, a cesspool, a hell on earth situation behind the curtains, where in front of the curtain they look like they have it all, the riches, the fame, the success. But in exchange for that, behind the scenes, you're really held captive, and you're really a prisoner in your own, fantasy, I guess you could say. So let me see, looking at Insta, or let me come back over to y'all. Let me check on y'all real quick. Let me see. Okay, so Sharita was saying Ratchet TV is a liar. Sean Cummins said Jay-Z is a liar. Juti believes it. Let me go down. I think I read that stuff. Lasting Impression said this stuff happened to Ratchet TV because she was there. Oh, from Malta? Okay. Lasting Impression said he showed us the calls in real time. The chat even searched the number on Google, and it was Spiro's law firm. That's crazy. Sean said they hacked the carrier. Juti said Jay-Z may be digging his grave with this. Maybe digging his, he's digging his grave. Thank you for the bells. Wow, Wayne. Sharita said, y'all really think someone would call from Spiro's number? There are apps that can make it seem like it's coming from them. And that is true. There are manipulative apps where you can call from your number and make it look like it's from another number. That can definitely happen as well. Now, this also can be uncovered in an investigation. So if it is true that someone manipulated these lines and these phone numbers in this way, it's going to get found out. And that's one thing for sure, two things for certain. Sean said, and Tina has lost her power with the New Orleans Creole Voodoo group. Beyonce doesn't have the gift, so there's turmoil. She lost her power. That's interesting. Lasting Impression. Stranger things have happened. Sean says, sounds about right for Puff. Thank you for the bells, Chrissy. What happened to burner phones? That is a good point, Sharita. Sean said, how guilty is Usher? Yeah, all you guys are making really good points. And I honestly think Usher is definitely in the mix as well. Y'all remember when Usher went to go see Russell Simmons, and Russell posted the picture, and it was them and a bunch of looked like young women in the background. One of them had her legs like spread wide open. I think it had to do with yoga, but it was a very strange situation. I think he went to consult, like, because clearly Russell knew something was in the water, which made him flee to Bali, right? He's been there for a couple of years now. He knew this stuff was coming. Russell's been very tapped in. He's been a part of the congregation, as they call him, somebody who is head of the council. He's been one who has put a lot of these people on, including Jay-Z. He was one of the owners of Def Jam right before Jay-Z took the helm. So he's definitely somebody who helped Jay-Z rise in the ranks. Excuse me. Ray, I agree with Sharita on this. His hands may not be clean of other crimes, but I have serious doubts about this case in particular. And you guys aren't alone. A lot of people agree with you on that. I honestly don't know either way. I don't know. I just know what I'm hearing and reading and things, the rabbit holes I go down to say that I do agree that there's something there with Jay-Z that ain't right. And I think that honestly with a lot of these celebrities who have made it to the level that they have, I do not believe that whoever is in charge, the people behind the scenes who we don't really ever hear about, the elite, they call them, Illuminati, if you will, are going to allow somebody to have this much fame, success, influence, power, whatever you want to call it, without holding strings on them and over them. So, we look at the, Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney. Where are they now? Where are they now? And these are, especially Prince and Michael, who were telling us so many truths. Didn't he call, what's his name, who was running Sony, the devil? And that lady, the queen, had mentioned this about Al Sharpton, how he was riding with Mike when he was being accused of the PDF file stuff. But when Mike called, God, I can't think of the guy's name. He was married to Mariah Carey, blah, blah, blah. When he called him the devil, and now his name came to my head and then went away. But when he called them the devil, Al Sharpton was nowhere to be found. Tommy Mottola. Thank you, Sharita. Thank you, girl. Yeah. Tommy Mottola, when he called him out, I'll never forget that. It was like a press conference, or no, he was out on stage at some event or something, and he was like, he's the devil, and this. Everybody was in shock about this. This is something we never would see on stage, but she was saying Al Sharpton was nowhere to be found when this happened, because she feels that Al Sharpton had been compromised. He was on the side of the powers that be at this point. So, and not to be trying to skip around and all of that, but now Ratchet TV mentioned Jaguar Wright. He's like, I'm no Jaguar Wright. Now, I don't know exactly. I think he means basically that I'm not a liar, or I'm not somebody who's just going to throw accusations out there without any proof. But I don't know if y'all heard, Jaguar Wright has since retracted the things she said about Jay-Z. And it's been rumored that she's been paid about $300K to do so. Now, I don't know if this is true. This is just, in the streets, what I'm hearing. But knowing Jaguar and the desperate times she's been facing, I wouldn't put it past her. All right, so I want to move on because I want to talk about the actors. So I'm talking to you guys right about the people who are on a certain level of fame, success, and all of that, and that I believe you have to go through certain doors and do certain things in order to get there, in order to stay there as well. A lot of the people we're talking about have been in power and in position for decades. You don't do that without, I would say, compromising yourself. So with that being said, I want to move to an actor. Here we go. Who we know from The Cosby Show. We know him. I don't know if you watched The Cosby Show, remember? He was Sandra's husband. I think he was a doctor on the show. And then it came out a couple of years ago. He was working for a store I know we have here in LA called Trader Joe's. I don't know if you guys have a Trader Joe's, but he was a cashier at Trader Joe's, and people were like, what the heck? why are you doing? His name is Jeffrey Owens. And so after that, he kind of all of a sudden started getting offers and parts, Tyler Perry being somebody. Now, Tyler Perry has also had accusations placed on him. An actor recently said that he was being harassed, sexually harassed by Tyler Perry. And that Tyler Perry, they all say don't really pay his actors. So Tyler Perry and other people, but I'm going to let him talk because I want to talk. There's a point to this. Okay. So let me go back and then go forward.
Right.
Nicki Minaj sent me money.
Yeah, I heard she sent you like, what it was like, I don't want to count your pockets, but it was a lot of money.
She sent me $25,000.
Right. So,
nice.
So I heard that you gave it to a charity.
I did give it to a charity.
Why'd you give that money to a charity?
You know what? I don't know.
Next time.
It's like now I'm like,
why did you do
contacted
that?
the charity last week to ask for it. They had used it already.
What did?
No. You know what it was? It was like at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do.
What?
At the time, listen.
Well,
if
thank
Nicki
God.
Minaj had hired me.
Okay.
She had paid me $25,000 to do something.
Right.
Right. I would have said thank you for the work. Thank you. I accept. Right.
Mm.
But somehow and by the way, this is not to say that what she did was inappropriate or I'm not grateful for it. It was a lovely, incredible gesture. But at the time, it felt like just being given that money just as a gift, Nicki Minaj.
Right.
So this is Jeffrey talking about how Nicki Minaj basically gifted him $25K just because he was in dire straits and she wanted to help him out, but he couldn't accept it because he didn't feel right about it. He felt like, there's other people who could use this. Now, in my opinion, he could have taken it and helped the other people that he's speaking of who could possibly have used it, because we don't know if Nicki would have just put it right back into the bank, right? But the little point I wanted to make, I want to continue on with this.
You know what it was? It just didn't seem right to keep it. I felt like, well, I'm in need to a certain extent, but there are other people that are much more in need of this money than I am.
Okay.
I was perfectly willing to accept the work, the work that Tyler gave me, the work other people gave me, and but just being gifted that money as charity, at the time it just didn't feel right.
Was it like you felt like it was maybe a handout kind of?
Yes.
Sort of?
Now, by saying that, if Nicki Minaj is listening, she's I don't want her.
She's gonna see it. No,
but it was a handout.
Right.
It was a very generous, lovely handout.
Okay.
But I wasn't comfortable with that. As I said, if she said, here's $25,000, put on the show or just, whatever. Yeah, thank you very much. But anyway, it was a weird time, because let me make this clear: movies, whether it's Mr. Santa or and I'm on Papa's House on CBS, or all TV shows I've done and all that stuff, people have the impression that, well, you're making a lot of money. What's the problem? Why would you have financial troubles? They don't understand the specifics of how my industry works.
Right.
They don't understand the salaries, the pay scales.
Well, a lot of people would imagine that you had those wonderful residual checks on the Cosby Show.
Right, which were never particularly wonderful for me.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Remember, because I was not.
You were here and there.
I was here and there,
Okay.
right? I did maybe 20% of the shows.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Plus, the show went off away for a while because of what happened with Bill.
Right.
So all that was gone. People have a false, impression of what the average, what I call middle class actor makes.
Right.
Movies, whether it's Mr. Santa or and their ability to make a living in the industry. So that's what drove me to work at Trader Joe's to begin with. But I, honestly, I'm not much better off now than I was then.
Really? You can call Nicki and tell you get that money back.
Don't tell
Nikki.
Listen,
you just want to work.
I'm not
Yeah,
complaining.
just wanna work,
I'm not
yeah.
complaining. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for the work I have.
Right.
Yeah, I work more than a lot of people.
Right.
Right. So I got to keep perspective. But the fact is, I struggle every day
Wow.
to make my ends. I have certain expenses. No one has to know what they are, but
Right.
everyone has expenses.
Right, exactly.
Everyone has needs and stuff like that. So it's tough. I'm just saying, when people say, oh, you must be making, people see me on the subway, they're like, what are you doing on the subway? I'm like, What do
Like,
you think?
yeah.
What do you expect? I ride the subway and the bus in New York all the time, and their ability to make.
So this is a case of a man who's a working actor who people know his face, his fame precedes his success, or his monetary success at least. And my point in bringing this to light is not the fact that Nicki Minaj paid him $25,000 to try to help, or donated to him $25,000, but the fact that he's talking about how tough it is as an average he called himself a middle class, I think he said, actor, or somebody who is not on the level of, the J-Los and the actors who we see, the fame, the fortune, the success. And I'm definitely not saying every single actor who is on that level did anything. I'm not, because I don't know. But all I am saying is that there are some who have gotten there because they have done things, and they've been there because they have done things. And clearly, Jeffrey Owens has not done things. He didn't walk through the doors. And I don't know. I personally do feel like maybe he was offered some things, because with Tyler Perry coming into play, because that actor who accused Tyler Perry of harassing him or whatever said Tyler Perry invited him to a meeting and was butt naked walking around, and basically was just trying to coerce him into doing something he wasn't comfortable doing. So I kind of feel like Jeffrey might have been offered some things and he turned them down. He's not going to tell us here because he wants to work. He wants to stay in the business. Once you open your mouth to the fact that somebody is trying to compromise you, or that there's some things going on behind the scenes, you ain't going to get no work. You're done. You're blackballed. So clearly he's trying to put out there, I'm looking for work. Look, I'm just an honest, hardworking guy. And, I just, look, I'm not looking for charity. I'm not looking for charity, wanting to get a good script and a good part and to be paid my worth. So let me see over here what y'all saying. Yes, Ray. Okay, wait. You said Tyler pays. I heard Tyler does not pay from actors who have worked with him, but maybe it depends on who you are. Maybe it depends on if you take those meetings. Okay, let's see. You said Jay would have paid the accuser before Jaguar. Well, what if he did try to pay the accuser and they declined the payment? Well, where's he going to go after that? I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying. Ray said, oh, yeah, that has happened to me before, too. Someone used a number I'm familiar with to harass me. They used a number I knew to get me to pick up. Yeah. Yep. Sharita said, you can Google, actors are saying it's the most they've ever been paid. Yeah, I've heard some people say that. I have heard, who was it actually? The lady, she used to be a soap actress, Debbie Morgan. She said that. There's some people he might be paying, but he is not paying his average actors who are on those shows. I can't think of the names. I used to watch a few of his shows. I don't watch any of his shows now, but a lot of those people said that they didn't get paid very much. Ray said, Jay is very smart and calculated. This harassment supposedly coming directly from him sounds too messy and young-minded. That's some rookie-ish. Yeah, sounds like it. Somebody being messy. Yep. Juti said, Jay-Z is not above being messy. Just read that rant again. He was threatening and being very. Yeah, Jake as well. All you guys have very good points, and nobody's judging anybody for their opinion here, honey. And I hope you're not judging me for mine, because I believe Diddy's guilty. I believe Jay-Z is involved in some things. I don't know if this case is the one or that he's involved with. And if he is, was he aware of what was going on? I don't know. But all I know is I'm bringing you what's being reported, what's out there. These things are being said by people, like whether it's the prosecutors, whether it's Diddy or Jay-Z's lawyers or their team, whether it's other celebrities who are behind the scenes trying to make stuff go away or trying to convolute the stories so that, because, once everything is all messed up and screwed up, nobody's going to believe anybody and everything might just go away, right? Remember we had Misha, I think the girl who came on and said that she was the girl in the picture on Diddy's lap and all these things, and then had to come back and retract her statement because the lawyer who represented the actual victim in that the thing she was saying had to come forward and say, this is not my victim in this picture. We filed this picture in our evidence, and this is not this woman. She had to come out and apologize and said it was misunderstandings. She didn't necessarily say she was lying, but she was lying. Okay, so things like that, you know, aren't helping these criminal cases, really the civil cases either, to be honest. And it could be that a lot of people have their hands in the pot, right? Stirring it all up, stirring and stirring and stirring. So, you know, it's good that you guys are using your common sense, you're using your discernment, you're using your brains, right? So, did you guys know that prosecutors have charged 5 people in the connection with Liam Payne's unaliving? Yeah. 5 people have been formally charged in connection with the unaliving of Liam Payne in Argentina. This is per CNN. The country's prosecutors announced in a statement explaining a person identified as Payne's representative, as well as the hotel's manager and its head of reception, have been charged with manslaughter. If convicted, they face up to 5 years in prison. In addition, a hotel employee and a local waiter have also been charged with supplying Payne with the cocoa during his stay. A judge has ordered them to be jailed, and ahead of their trial, the pair faces up to 15 years in prison. Somebody did point out in the comments, like the person accused of giving him the coca is facing up to 15, but the people accused of possibly helping with the unaliving only face up to 5 years. What's wrong with that picture? So yeah, it looks like they made, and that happened pretty quickly also. So I don't know if it has to do with the fact that this was in Argentina and not the United States, because Argentina may handle their things a little differently. It looks like they took this very seriously. They did not want his unaliving on their watch, right? So I thought that was interesting. There's a couple other things. Biden announces $2.5 billion in security, in security and aid to Ukraine. So we're still on his way out. Biden is still giving the money up to Ukraine. It's a lot of money. And this includes air defense, artillery, and critical weapons. And this is ahead of President Trump's inauguration. Now, I don't know if Trump can undo this, because I don't know if the money, is he going to wire this money? Are they going to already have it in hand before Trump comes into office? That time is coming. You know, we're heading into January 1st tomorrow, child. Brand new year tomorrow. And I think he comes into office on the 20th, I think, right? Isn't that the day of the inauguration? But it says that President Biden announced the package with $1.25 billion from Pentagon stockpiles and $1.22 billion via the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. Somebody said, get him the F out of office now. He's spending up all our money before he leaves. He's also been pardoning a bunch of people. And let's see what else. Royce Reed is on her TISA. Trump lost his appeal in his S abuse case, and he has to pay his victim $5 million. Now, this is a man who's about to take office, y'all. This is y'all's president, okay? The appeals court upheld their verdict on Donald Trump. He tried to appeal this, but it didn't happen. This happened in the 90s. They ordered him to pay $5 million in damages. And back in 2023, E. Jean Carroll, this woman, testified that he assaulted her in a dressing room of a New York department store decades ago. The jury found Trump liable for S assault and awarded her $2.02 million in damages, and for defamation, awarding an additional $2.98 million. Trump denied the allegations and appealed the verdict, arguing that the trial judge made unfair rulings that warranted a new trial. However, the appeals court rejected his claims. In their ruling, they said, we conclude that Mr. Trump has not demonstrated that the district court erred in any of the alleged challenged rulings. Further, he has not carried his burden to show that any claimed error or combination of claimed errors affected his substantial rights as required to warrant a new trial. Okay. So somebody said, our president paying for S assault. This is America. Okay, this is America. I wonder if this was in Argentina, would they be having this? I don't know. It's crazy though. I know y'all know who Travis Hunter is. He's been in the headlines a lot with his fiance, Leanna. What's her name? Lena Leanne or whatever. She's been ostracized for looking like a gold digger, basically. Well, he just signed to Young Money Sports Agency ahead of his NFL draft. He's being represented by Lil Wayne and his company. I don't know. I didn't even know Lil Wayne had a sports agency, but you know, hey, hopefully he did his homework before he signed on that dotted line. Because I don't think I've heard anything positive about his Lil Wayne's business dealings. But this is what's going on, child. And this explains why he was at the Heisman ceremony as well. I was wondering what was Lil Wayne doing there? But clearly they were already in talks prior to this announcement. So they're saying that the agency will handle his on-field matters, and Hunter will continue to work with SMAC, as Sports Media and Culture Entertainment, for his off-field representation. So he's partially representing him. But good for Lil Wayne for diversifying his funds, child. And somebody said, before y'all try and be funny, everybody affiliated with Young Money has seen success. Okay. So a lot of things have been going on these past few days, let alone this week. I have been busy with some family stuff. It's good family stuff, let me say. Like this thing, Jennifer Lopez's ex, Casper Smart. You remember him? He was the dancer, the background dancer she was hooking up with or whatever. Well, they say his home has been raided after authorities are tipped off about a marijuana grow operation. What? Somebody said, the caption says, you got to be careful who you tell your secrets to. TMZ reports that Jennifer Lopez's ex-boyfriend, Casper Smart, recently had his LA home, his LA home raided by authorities after they were informed about his extracurricular activities. Now, I wonder who would have done that. Who would have tipped off the feds? Is it the feds or the state authorities? It says the incident went down 2 days before Christmas after being tipped off that the professional dancer was running a cannabis grow operation from his home. Police arrived at the property with a search warrant early in the morning on December 23rd. Following a search, police reportedly discovered a small to medium-sized grow operation. Thankfully for Casper, who was at home at the time with a woman, says he wasn't arrested at the scene. Instead, it was reported that he was free to go after officers cited him. The outcome of the case, aka if Smart will be charged with anything, is now in the hands of the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. Okay, so this is a state situation. Hopefully Smart's good luck won't run out anytime soon and he'll find favor with the DA. Somebody said, who in the hell cares? It's legal now, and leave J-Lo out. Because they knew I was about to say, J-Lo, no, she's under the microscope right now because of the Diddy stuff. And the feds, they be wanting to know, what can you give us so we don't, name you in a superseding or a separate charge? And she's like, well, my ex, let me tell you about him. He got this going on, and this person has this going on. And speaking of J-Lo, let me move back over to TikTok because I came across something that I thought was interesting too. I don't know what you guys think about this. It says Jennifer Lopez surprises by meeting Justin Bieber again in Los Angeles to talk about what? They're saying this is a second meeting that they're having. I guess they met up, and these people are being watched. So paparazzi or whoever it is letting the public know that she's meeting with Justin Bieber more than once. So in the comments, it says she's probably trying to pay him to stay quiet. Oh, let me share the tab. Sorry. Yeah, so here's the video they have of her walking in somewhere, and apparently he was walking into the same place. It says she's trying to silence him. She's trying to pay him off. Somebody said Diddy sent her. She got to make something happen. Okay, so this was actually posted at the December 7th. Yeah, so they're saying this is not the first meeting that she's had with Justin Bieber. Why would Jennifer Lopez be meeting with Justin Bieber? Do you think she is trying to get him on a project that she has coming up. And we know she has a production company that she puts on, TV shows and things like that. Is she trying to hire him? Or is this some type of calculated way to keep him quiet? Because a lot of people have alleged that Justin Bieber has it on Diddy. He has all the goods on Diddy. So let me see what y'all are saying here. Here we go. Let me see. Yes, please like this video, y'all. If you're all here, subscribe if you haven't done so. Sharita said that's blasphemy because that's Dr. MLK's birthday. Oh, on the 20th. Oh, no, right? For Trump to come in on that day is definitely crazy. Well, you were talking to Sharita, but I'm going to read it anyway. I've heard actors saying the pay for Tyler's movies was good too. He skimps on everything else in the budget: writing, producing, directing, wigs, shooting timelines. All of that is true. Ray said, right, no judgment here, goddess. What's done in the dark always comes to light. If it was done, it will be exposed. Thank you. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Bring my own wigs. I would too. Isn't Mary Jane legal in California? It is. It is. I don't know. It's legal in California statewide, but you can't, there's guidelines and rules. Like you can't just have a grow operation in your backyard. Like you have to go through their channels, right? So I think that's where they got them. Plus, I don't think it's federally. I still don't know if it's federally legal. So if you mess with the state, if you don't do things right by the state, then you could possibly be in store for some federal charges. President, grab him by the cat. Sharita, Casper Smart is not very smart. Why just set up? Why not just do a legal grow operation? I don't understand it. Nero 313, welcome. Not a good look, J-Lo. You guys are clowning Tyler Perry in these wigs. You know who I think of? What is the actor's name? He used to host Soul Train. Now he's in those CSI shows. He's light-skinned dude. He had that braided wig. It was horrible. A lot of those wigs are really bad. Ray said fully legal in California. So that means federally too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Chrissy said he's going to make us broke. Who's going to make us broke? Oh, Trump? You're talking about Trump probably. Okay, so yeah. So what do y'all think? So yeah, J-Lo supposedly in these private meetings with Bieber. Child, is too much. And these people should realize they're being watched. Like you need to really be careful where you meet, who you meeting with, what type of entrance, maybe there's some back entrances you need to be taking, because whether it's paparazzi, investigators, all of the things. I also wanted to point out real quick, Royce Reed. You guys remember Royce Reed from Basketball Wives? That she used to, she was in a relationship and had a child with Dwight Howard, who she threw accusations out about him before. And some of those accusations had to do with essaying her child. Well, she's doing a Risa Tisa version of giving all of her story, and she's doing it in pieces, and it's some horrible claims she's making against him. Now, mind you, he's engaged to some woman right now, and he made a comment to say, what's in the past is in the past. What happened last year, what happens in 2024, I'm not taking in 2025. What happened back 10 years ago when she's saying all these things happened 10 years ago. Now, the allegations are so bad, you can't just, logically dismiss. Well, you might be able to, but you can't expect the public to just say, yeah, all that stuff was bad as hell, but you know what? It's a new day. Not when you're talking about essaying children. She also says that he himself, his sister, they were also compromised as children by a stepdad, I think. So it sounds like it ran in the family, as well as the protection of the person. That the person, you see, I commented, damn, I didn't have nothing else to say, but damn. But it's horrible. So if you haven't had a chance to see Royce and her series, I think it's on TikTok. Let me actually look her up real quick on TikTok, because she also had her and her son, and I was shocked to see her son, because I used to watch Basketball Wives, and I was actually shocked to see how big her son has gotten. Let me see. Videos. She posted a TikTok with her son recently. Let me see if it's on here. Definitely her whole story is on here. Where is the one with her son? Let me see. I don't know if that's him. You know, she's a dancer, so she's doing her little dances. She has 6 parts to her story so far. And this is what she was wearing when she did that TikTok dance. Let me see if I can find it. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that thing is. But anyway, you know, I just say shout out to anybody and everybody telling their truth, whether it's happened yesterday, whether it happened 10, 20 years ago or whatever. There's nothing wrong with people coming out and sharing their truth. I know people say, why the internet? Take it to a therapist, take it to the police, take it to whoever. But, and not to say that these people are coming to the internet and not doing those things. They could very well be doing that stuff simultaneously with reporting it to authorities. But, okay. Oh, Ray. Okay. Let me come back. That was one of the first movies. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The braided wig. Juti said maybe they wanted to be seen to make Diddy scared. Oh, to who J-Lo and Bieber could be. Sharita said they all go to the same places. Show me them in the meeting. Well, I think the idea is the sequence and the timing of them going into the same places. I don't think they just literally went to the same place at some point. And I don't think they can show you them in the meeting because I'm pretty sure the meeting is behind closed and private doors. But yeah. Ray said, no, it's still illegal federally. Okay, that's what I thought. And shout out to me. I haven't smoked in at least 2 months now. 2 months? Yeah. I've been smoking. Child, let me tell you, I've been smoking for quite some time in my life. Not like, I don't know. It comes and goes. I can take it or leave it, to be honest. So right now I'm leaving it because I'm trying to do a whole cleanse, actually starting tomorrow, and trying to just get, just cleanse, child. Just cleanse. Always good to shake up your life and stop doing the habits and the things. But I'm gonna tell you, I love me a good joint. I still do joints. Okay. Anyway, telling y'all a little bit of my business. Sharita said the nanny essayed the son and his daughter. The nanny, okay. Well, I was told. Well, she says that it was also his brother, his stepbrother. I think it was. It was somebody in the family. So I don't know. I think she said she threatened the nanny, and so if it was the nanny and the family member, that's all bad. J-Lo is not touching the Diddy mess with a 10-foot pole. Well, people say that she and Diddy have had business dealings all this time, even after their breakup, and that they are tied up in business stuff. So if she's trying to protect her assets and protect herself, she could behind the scenes be trying to manipulate some things or trying to make some things go away, or, we don't know. Ray said family court is a joke. They failed her and her son. If you don't have physical proof of abuse, you can't protect yourself and your child. The judge on her case is disgusting. Yeah, I need to catch up on her storytelling. Royce didn't lie about him being sweet. No, she didn't, child. No, she didn't. J-Lo looking for a friend. Well, I hope not in Justin Bieber. He's a whole married man. And plus, I don't think he's in her age bracket. But Juti, congrats. Been 100% off of it for a year now. Anxiety is way down too. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, it was the nanny. Oh, it was just the nanny. It wasn't a family member? I swear. After the nanny, I would have been locked up. Oh, for sure. I could have sworn she was talking also about a family member. Maybe she was talking about the family member who essayed him and his sister. Or you're saying the nanny? Well, let me go back. I might be missing some here. The nanny said essayed the son and his daughter. Okay. So maybe his family member essayed him and his sister, because I remember her speaking out about that. Nevertheless, her story is one to listen to, child. It is a lot. If you can take that kind of stuff, I know it's triggering for a lot of people. You know, I might do a separate video, especially on my other channel, the Nosy Goddess, Nozey Goddess. Look that up and go subscribe to me over there, please, and thank you. So I've been on here over 2 hours, child. Over 2 hours is a record for me. So I want to say thank you to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And child, I just appreciate you. I really do. Now, wait, what is this?
Happy birthday to Happy birthday to me.
I don't know if that was a real video, but that was crazy when I heard that. The nanny and Superman are both culpable for their son's illegal behaviors. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. From what Roy said. Okay. She was saying Dwight was essayed by his family members. The whole family is jacked. Right. Happy New Year's. Thank you, Juti, and everybody. Happy New Year. I'm trying to come back, but because I got a lot of little things happening right now. I don't know if I can. I promised it for Saturday night, didn't end up coming. I'm gonna try, because I usually like for the new year, before the new year comes, I like to do a countdown of the things that the big things that have happened this year. And we're going to start that out with Cat Williams, child. And then, of course, the Diddy raids and so many things. You guys, Justine from Wild and Out, she did a hell of a wrap up, which I won't play now, but I want to play that as well. And, you know, we always expect these wrap ups from, his name is, let me pull it up just for the comment. What's his name? This was a good wrap up she did. And I'm trying to think, somebody put in the comments the person that we usually get the wrap ups from. I cannot think of his name. But anyway, a couple people do these wrap ups every year. And she did one, and I think it covered a lot of amazing things that happened this year, things that were jaw dropping, things that were straight up unbelievable. Yeah, so my goal is to come back and do something for 2024. Mad Skills. And there's another one too, lasting. There's another one. There's Mad Skills and Uncle Murda, I think. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So definitely Mad Skills and Uncle Murda. So Sharita said, if I was Royce, I would have turned it into a Netflix. She could have brokered a good deal for a Netflix series. I agree. But, you know, people going to learn. People going to know from Virginia. Oh, you know him? Okay. I heard that. But yeah, so definitely, if you're not subscribed, please do so. Look for me to put up a live for upcoming for tonight, for New Year's Eve, child, because I don't think I'm going out. And if I do celebrate at all, it's going to be in the house and with y'all. So I hope you look for me and I will look for you. Peace and love to everybody. Until next time. Bye.